This video is on knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge, or I'll just start off here. These are the foundations you're gonna need to gain an understanding of yourself. And unfortunately, when you look up the word understanding is in the definition. But when you you're gonna hear the word understanding a lot. But when you understand these three things, or when you can master, I guess, these three things, it'll help you master yourself. So what is the definition of knowledge? To have knowledge, To have knowledge means to know or be aware of things. Knowledge is understanding gained through learning experience. So you want to shorten that. What's the beginning of that? Knowing. You want to become a knower. You don't even want to say things like I think and I wonder and stuff like that. You got to know that shit. You got to know that the money is coming. You got to know that you about to be successful. You better know that you about to get that job. And if you don't, you still want to be thinking positively and know, not think, not wonder, know that things are in your favor. So even if you didn't get that job, even if you didn't get the money today, it's for a better reason. You want to become a knower. So you want to shorten that. And the ultimate knowledge is the knowledge of self. How do you gain the knowledge of self? Knowledge of self, I already made that video, through learning through your ancestors, study yourself, understand. But you want to transcend that. You don't just want to have the knowledge of self. It's like you want to gain also understanding. How do you gain that understanding? Through wisdom. Self-knowledge, by definition, is understanding of one's self or one's own motives or characters. So how do you gain that understanding? Like I just said, through wisdom. Wisdom, the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. The quality of being wise. So symbols of wisdom is usually when you're watching like those movies and they got to go like Yoda. He will be a symbol of wisdom. Or if you watch Dragon Ball Z, like Master Roshi. Or usually any character you see in a movie that got like a big beard and he's wise, he only says a few things. It's the person who always knows. Your OG, if we want to bring it to something in real life, it would be somebody who knows, somebody who you can sit and talk with because they've been through certain things. They've already experienced that. They've already been through that, so they can give you that wisdom. They're a knower. To be a knower is to be wise. They go hand in hand. Once you know, you're going to be wise based on that particular subject. The way you shut down your ego, especially when it comes to knowledge itself, is to give it knowledge. So again, your ego is not just when you Kanye West. The way you put down your shield, when you have your guard up, is through knowledge. It's through knowing that this person is not trying to attack me. It's through knowing that this person, doesn't have it out to get me. And how do you get to that point? It's through understanding. Understanding, is being sympathetically aware of others people's feelings, tolerant and forgiving. Judgment and understanding are on two opposite ends. You will never gain understanding of nothing, not even yourself, as long as you have judgment in your heart. And that's why you can't master yourself, which is why you can't master anything else, because you don't understand why you do what you do, because you have too much judgment in the way. You have to be open. Your heart is closed off. Your mind is closed off. You have to be open to receiving the information. Your heart has to be open. You can't have no judgment. For example, if you may see somebody, let's say like as a sex worker or a stripper, and you start to judge them. You start to say, man, why couldn't they get a real job? Why couldn't they do blah, 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 blah? You start making up all these scenarios. And that's because that's where your judgment comes in. You have no understanding, and you can't gain an understanding of what their situation is. You don't know what their situation is. You don't know what type of decisions or what they had to go through or what it took to get there. And you'll never have that type of understanding because your heart is closed off to it. In your mind, What she's doing, she's just a Jezebel. She's just something bad. So I don't even want to know why she's doing that. And you have to apply that same scenario I just applied to why you can't figure out to why you do the things you do. Why you're stuck in the cycles that you are. It's because you don't want to know. Or you're not open to knowing. Same thing, you know. And to gain that understanding is all about opening up your heart. When you hear like a roster, somebody be like, overstand. That's like something you want to know backwards front. You want to overstand how to drive. Otherwise, I'm not going to be getting in the car with you. You know, you better, if we going on a road trip, you better overstand them directions, you know. But when you want to understand, that's going to be in the heart. I understand what you're going through. So you don't got to pay me back on Friday. You pay me back next week. I understand that test was hard. So I'm proud that you got a B+, even though I wanted you to get an A-. You know, that's where, you know, you want to get to that point. And you really ultimately want to get to that point about yourself. You need to understand why you want to go out, why you want to drink yourself to sleep, why you can't sleep at night. You need to understand what's making you anxious. You need to understand where your problems is coming from. You need to just gain an understanding of yourself, why you do the things you do. Why do you like working out? Why do you like doing this? Why do you like doing that? And that's where journaling and stuff comes in. Help you know why you're doing this, you know, through the experience. And then you'll have understanding. It's a three-part thing. But you'll always be blocked off from that understanding as long as your heart isn't open. Because you don't want to know. And as long as you don't want to know, you'll never know. But knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is damn near, burnt myself. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is damn near like the foundation, or I should say 3 pillars that you just need for life. But as far as mastering yourself, you will never get to that point until you're open to it. So you got to become a knower. First of all, just become a knower in life, period. You know what you're about to do. You know where you're about to go. You know what you're about to eat. You know, get comfortable with yourself through knowledge of self. Get trust in yourself. Trust that intuition. When you say, ooh, what do I want to eat today? And something says, go get you a veggie wrap. You know, you don't start to have that back and forth and be like, oh, you know, am I sure I want a veggie wrap? Is this, you know, the calorie? Like, no. Something told you to go get that veggie wrap. And it's like, you asked the question, you received it. It's like, now you know what to do, you know. You get your ego out the way by knowing. And then when your heart is open, you can come to that understanding through experience. And that's basically it. You know, if you want to master yourself, or the reason why you can't, or why can't I figure this out, or I'm journaling, or whatever it might be, or like, you know, you're on your healing journey and you're stuck at a certain point, is because your heart isn't open to understanding. So you can't move forward. You know what I'm saying? You think about it like the information that you need to move forward on your journey is like locked away in some temple. Because remember, your body is the temple. You know, and you going through the temple, you done dodged all the booby traps and stuff, and you get to like where the scroll is, and you trying to open it up, and it just shocks your hand, and it won't allow you to open it up, because your heart, your mind isn't open. And ironically, that scroll that's shocking you is because of you. Because you don't want to know. Because you don't want to gain an understanding. And that's exactly why you're stuck. So remember, knowledge of self is the ultimate knowledge. You gain that knowledge of self through wisdom and understanding. And once you master yourself, it'll be way easier to master everything else, because you're going to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you're going to know that you can do anything. You know, you're going to know that ain't going to be no limit to what you're trying to do or what you're trying to accomplish. So ultimately, you want to become a knower.